Thank you very much for purchasing your Easy Wing system. We hope very sincerely that this is the final miter saw station you will ever need to buy or build. So with this video, I'm going to show you the basic setup of how to get your station up and running and some tips and tricks that will hopefully make things super easy for you and help you get the most out of your system very quickly. Regardless of the station that you purchased, all of our stations are built off a singular platform. So I'm going to start with our basic system and then I will show you how our larger stations are built off of it. The first step is to install our Easy Base. Inside the package, you'll find a variety of boxes depending on the size of the station that you purchased, many of which may be located inside the bag. Inside the black envelope, you'll want to find and locate the instruction manual as well as the included Z Allen wrench, which may be alongside some other materials and some stickers. Now, the Z wrench is primarily the only tool you'll need for the installation. However, it can be helpful to have the following tools on hand to assist with the installation. Number one, you'll want to have a large flathead screwdriver, a tape measure, and a straight edge and/or a level. Next, you'll want to open up the box that was by itself at the bottom of the box. That is the box that houses our Easy Base, and this is the component that connects our station to your saw. The Easy Base is made up of two base assemblies and the platform adjustment sleds, which I'll get into in a minute. There's a right and a left base assembly, and you'll notice that one leg on each base pivots. The pivot leg allows for the base to be mounted on a variety of saws, and the pivot leg should always be facing to the rear of your saw. Next, you want to locate the included hardware pack, which is likely inside the bag, and you'll be looking for the Easy Base thumb screws. Remove them from the hardware pack and set them aside for a second. Next, you'll need your miter saw, and we recommend that you install on a workbench or on a nice flat surface for easiest installation. For this install, I'm going to be installing on a 12-inch dual bevel compound miter saw from DeWalt, but this is a universal system, so while it may vary slightly, the steps should be similar across the board regardless of your manufacturer. So the first step is to lift one side of the saw and slide the Easy Base underneath it. Then pop over to the other side of the saw and lift it up and slide that in as well. You want to align the slots in the base assembly with the factory mounting holes on your saw. The pivot arm in the back allows you to pivot it back and forth to align based on how deep the factory mounting holes are on your particular saw. Inside the slots of the Easy Base, you'll find a nut that has been inset inside the base. You'll want to align that nut so that it is directly underneath your factory mounting hole on your saw's base, and then use the Easy Base thumb screw to loosely tighten the saw down to the base. The inset nut does slide around, so you may find it easiest to use the thumb screw itself to slide the nut to the position that you need it. Pivot the back arm so that it also aligns with the factory mounting hole of your saw, and do your best to keep the extruded rail on the top of the Easy Base parallel to the edge of your saw as much as possible. Don't fully tighten down the thumb screws at this point because we will align everything to make sure that it is square in the coming steps. Simply work your way around all four corners of the saw and make sure that the Easy Base thumb screws attach to the inset nuts within the Easy Base. Next, we'll attach our platform adjustment sleds. These are the L-shaped aluminum brackets with the red knurled screw at the bottom. Inside the extruded rail on the Easy Base, you'll see that there are two embedded silver nuts. Those holes align with the slots on the platform adjustment sled, and they connect using the hardware included in the hardware pack called platform adjustment screws. When mounting the platform adjustment sled, you want to make sure that the micro adjustment tab sits on top of the extruded rail. Once you make sure that it's sitting on top of the extruded rail, then you can attach the platform adjustment sled with the screws. The embedded nuts do slide around, so you can move the assembly around to line everything up. Secure the sleds in place on both sides of the saw. Next, I recommend grabbing a wing. You'll notice there's two blocks installed. Those blocks are for the back fence, so they should go towards the back of the saw. On the underside of the wing, you'll see a tab towards the front of the wing, and you'll also see a matching upside-down T-shaped channel in the platform adjustment sled. Take the front edge of your wing and set it just over the back edge of the platform adjustment sled. If you have it in the right place, the tab on the bottom of the wing should index with the slot in the platform adjustment sled, which will allow you to slide the wing forward and up against the edge of your saw. Now, I personally like to use the wing to align the Easy Base because as you slide it on, you can see whether or not the wing is indexing up against the deck of your saw squarely. And if it's not, then you can easily shift the base and make sure that it does, and that means that your wings are square to your saw. Before tightening down the base screws, there's one other thing you need to do, and that is to make sure that our Easy T locking screw, which you can find in the hardware pack, can be fed up through the bottom of the platform adjustment sled, through the indexed holes in the wing itself, and tightened down. If you can't get the EZT locking screw up through the bottom of the wing through one of the machined holes in the top of the wing, you may need to adjust the base by sliding it closer or further away from the saw. Once you've verified that the EZT locking screw can easily be inserted and removed, then you can tighten down the base thumb screws by hand, and if you need a little extra tightening, you can use a flathead screwdriver to further tighten it down. Finally, I'd just like to verify that the EZ base is square to the saw deck by measuring the front and the back of the extruded rail and making sure that the measurements are the same, and making any last minute fine-tuning adjustments if I need to. And once that's done, the last step is to use the included Allen wrench and tighten down the 1/4 inch Allen screw to secure the pivot arm in place. What makes our system unique is that it's the only system that mounts directly to the saw, which means that once the EZ base is installed, you never have to take it off if you don't want to. So it's a one-time setup, and then you can just leave it on, whether you have it on a saw bench or you choose to use it on a saw stand, which I'll show you how to mount very shortly. Next, we'll dive into the adjustment capabilities of the wings themselves. After you've slid the wings on, you may notice that your wings are either too high or too low compared to your saw deck. There are two ways to adjust this. One is a micro adjustment knurled knob on the bottom, and the other is to loosen the platform adjustment screws and move the platform adjustment sled up or down. I recommend loosening the screws and getting the wing positioned coplanar with your saw deck as best as you can, and then use a straight edge across your saw's deck to fine-tune the level. Now, if the saw is installed on a workbench, each wing has fold-down legs on the far end of the wing. Fold these down and adjust their height by turning the threaded feet to your desired level and to make them perfectly coplanar with your saw's deck. From there, I'm going to explain how to attach your back fence. As I previously mentioned, each one of our wings comes with pre-installed mounting blocks on the back side of the wings. Inside the hardware pack, you'll find 4 L-shaped fence brackets and 4 small knurled silver screws. Note that a silver screw has already been pre-assembled onto the fence bracket by us here at the factory, and then slide the L brackets over the mounting blocks and use the knurled screw to tighten the fence bracket down to the mounting blocks. Notice that the slots within the fence bracket allow you to precisely position the fence brackets wherever you'd like, and allows you to slide the fence forward and backwards and up and down as needed. Once you have the brackets installed, then it's time to add the extruded rail back fence. Within the fence, you'll notice that there's 3 different tracks, each of which you can index the fence brackets into depending on your own need. I typically just start with the middle track, but you can certainly install it in the lower or the upper track as needed for ultimate flexibility. Simply loosen the knurled knob slightly so that the T-track nut can engage in the slot, and then slide the fence into position over both T-track nuts. Once the fence is installed, then you can tighten down all the knurled knobs as needed. So that's really all there is to installing our basic system. You can pull the wings on and off as needed just by removing the EZT locking screw, and you can also adjust the wings forward and backward by loosening the platform adjustment screws, sliding the wings forward and backwards on the EZ base as well. What makes our system unique is that you can add extensions to make your system virtually infinitely expandable. If you purchased extensions from us or one of our larger stations, your kit will come with a box or several boxes of extensions. Within the extension box, you'll find 4 splice plates and 16 screws. The difference between our wings and our extensions is that our extensions are rectangular, whereas our wings have that tapered front edge. You will likely notice some color discrepancy between the wings and extensions with your station. And that is unfortunately an unavoidable side effect of the anodization process because each piece of aluminum takes color a little bit differently. However, you can be assured that each has been treated exactly the same and that all components have met our anodization standards for strength and durability. To install the extensions, simply slide the splice plates under the pre-drilled holes that you can see in the ends of each wing and extension. Keep in mind that each set of extensions also contains pre-assembled fold-down legs, so we recommend that you always keep the fold-down legs at the far end of your assembly for maximum support. Simply slide the splice plates underneath so that the holes line up with the threaded taps in the splice plates, and then you can use 8 of the screws per side, making sure to align the T-tracks before tightening everything down using the included 3/16 Z-wrench. We always recommend building your wings on a nice flat surface or a workbench so that everything stays precision flat. And also when tightening down the screws with the wrench, we recommend alternating in kind of a crisscross pattern. Our extensions come in sets of 2s, and you can choose to use them on opposite sides of the saw, or you can double up and put both extensions on one side of the saw. It's completely up to you, and you can customize your setup however you'd like, and you can always purchase more on our website to add additional support to your station at any time. Simply repeat the process as many times as needed to build out your station. Our larger bags allow you to keep these 4-foot sections of wings assembled like this within the bag without having to take them apart to store them. From there, you may also have purchased a larger back fence. We sell back fences in 24, 36, and 48-inch lengths. All of our fences have the exact same T-Trek profile, so they simply slide onto the fence bracket as previously shown. However, to upgrade them, the only thing you may wish to do is to move the back fence mounting block to a different position. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. The back Allen screw passing through the block also holds the fold down leg in place. So when you remove that screw, the fold down leg will also become loose. However, inside the box of extensions, you should find 2 shorter black Allen screws, which will allow you to keep the longer Allen screw with the block and use the shorter one as a replacement to reattach the leg in place. Simply thread the screw in through the leg and tighten it down with the included Allen key. And the same goes for the block itself. Just mount that in place and tighten that down with the included Allen key as well. Depending on the station that you purchased, some of our larger stations include additional blocks and fence brackets, but should you need additional blocks and brackets, please reach out to us and we'd be happy to help. Installing the system onto your job site miter stand is pretty much the same as if you were to do it with just the saw itself. Place the saw onto your support arms of your miter stand and simply align the slots in the easy base so that you can pass a long bolt down through the easy base, through your saw's support arms, and attach as you normally would. You will likely need some longer bolts than you would normally use. Those are not included in our system. However, you could easily find them at a local hardware store in whatever length you need for your saw's base. Once the base is mounted to your stand, you can attach and detach your wings as you normally would. And to support them on the other end, you can pull out the arms on your saw stand to support the wings. Now, we understand that many of our larger stations go well beyond the ability of the saw stand, and you can support up to about 50% of the wing without serious deflection. However, there is likely to be a little bit of bounce in the wings as you push on it, given that it's kind of on a fulcrum. For additional rigidity and for our longer stations, we will very shortly be releasing our drop support leg, which can be used anywhere along the station, but is specifically designed to index into the cutout in the end of the extensions with a very simple trigger, and the leg can be dropped to your desired height and adjusted so that you can maintain precision flatness across your wings. Made of extremely durable carbon fiber, the drop leg is both extremely lightweight and extremely strong, and they'll be available in sets of 2, which will give you maximum stability. So make sure that you're signed up on our email list so that you can be notified as soon as they're released. Thanks very much for watching this video. I hope it helped you get your Easy Wing system set up quickly. If you have any questions or concerns about your station, feel free to hit us up either by phone or by email, or you can shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll do our best to get back to you as soon as possible. Please tag us in any content that you post utilizing your station and of any of the work that you create while using it. We'd love to see it.